with Kyle Evans. Grow with Kyle Evans.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet. Kyle Evans coming at you, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Number one on the field, number one in your hearts. Guys, it's hump day. It's Wednesday. This is the G.R.O.W show, so you know that we're not taking off. You know that we're pouring in for our daily checkup from the neck up. Today, what I wanted to bring you is something that we talk about every now and then, right? It lives in the background. It lives in the golden thread throughout pretty much every single show, every single thing that I speak on, every single thing that I coach on is your calendar. Today's episode is called The Calendar Code. Agents, entrepreneurs, husbands, wives, parents, they all ask me these same questions, man. How do I control my calendar? How do I get more out of the time that I have? Kyle, I have time blocks, but I find myself not honoring them. I have a Times Square on my calendar that looks like Swiss cheese and things are getting through the holes. That ain't a block. Guys, today we're going to talk about some of the ideas around how we get more intentional with our time, because if you're anything like me, we got a lot of stuff to do and no time to do it. If we just sat here and talked about a skill set around time management, we would be treating the smoke and not the fire. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, most people don't have a time problem. Most people have a control problem. Most people wake up every morning and hand the steering wheel of their life to other people, to their phone, to their inbox, to their anxiety, their clients, their feelings, their mood. Today, I want to talk to you about being simple, being surgical, being intentional with what we have. We're going to talk about how to run our calendar, our time, with authority. How can we honor the time blocks that we have? How can we break habits of ignoring the very structure that would change our life if we followed it? G.R.O.W says it like this: discipline equals freedom. This is not about adding more tasks. It's about adding more ownership. Gary Keller says it this way: we get additions through subtractions. Subtracting the noise so we can focus on what matters. Let's get into it today. The truth that I have for you this morning about time blocks is they don't fail because the system is weak. A lot of us have pretty calendars. A lot of us are using Google Calendar or the old paper calendar. Like, we've got it. Things are on it. It might be color coded. It might be pretty. It might be, ooh, it's so cute. The time block doesn't fail because the system isn't there, because the system is weak. The time block fails because our boundaries are weak. Your calendar is not a suggestion. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Your calendar is not a suggestion. It is legit a contract with the future version of you. Every single time you're ignoring a time block, you are telling your goals, you are telling your future, you are telling that life by design, I'll get to you when I feel like it. Success does not reward that sort of mentality. I want you to think about the psychology underneath, right? We're not treating smoke today. We're talking about the fire. Ignoring a time block usually has nothing to do with time. Shocker. More often than not, ignoring a time block is strictly about avoidance, avoiding discomfort, avoiding rejection, avoiding the work that actually moves the needle forward. Time blocks work when identity takes over, when you decide, I am a person who honors my word. Underline that, star it, tattoo it on your brain. Time blocks work when identity takes over. You must decide, I am a person who honors my word. I am a person who does what I say. I am a person who follows my schedule. Identity creates discipline. People ask me, man, how do you do it? How do you start following it? And I give them the simple answer. It's this. And they're hoping for some beautiful magic pill or play to run that they can just inject into their business and their life. And at the core foundation, it's your identity that you are making around it. I'm a person who honors my word. The identity creates discipline. Discipline creates results. Your base layer psychological piece of this puzzle is it's not that you don't have enough time. It's that you're living too much in avoidance. You're avoiding discomfort. You're avoiding the idea of what that time block means. We got to start working on who we are. One of the reasons, well, heck, three of the reasons people lose control of their calendar is because they fall into three traps. Trap number one, this is very easy for people with families and jobs and all the things, is the reaction spiral. We spend our day putting out fires instead of building the life that we want. More often than not, we mistake urgency for importance. So we're sitting in reactionary life. We're just putting out fires, putting out fires, putting out fires. Instead of playing offense, we're constantly playing defense. So we can't control our calendar because we're letting the fires, small, medium, or large, dictate our life. The first trap is the reaction signal, spiral. The second trap is the hero syndrome. When I tell you that I'm not talking at you, I'm talking with you. This is my trap. The hero syndrome is thinking that being available to everyone at all times makes me valuable. In reality, it makes me chaotic. In reality, it makes me mediocre because I can't embrace my greatness. I can't embrace the one thing that I'm supposed to be doing to move the needle forward in my business or in my life or to level up. I'm saying no to greatness. I'm saying yes to mediocrity. Being available to everyone at all times doesn't make you valuable. Let me say that again so I can get it through my own head. The hero syndrome is thinking that being available to everyone all the time makes us valuable. But in reality, it makes us chaotic. It makes us settle for mediocrity. That's trap number two. Trap number three is the fantasy of later. Later is the biggest lie in real estate, in business, in your personal life. Later, more often than not, becomes never. Later, more often than not, becomes the can that we keep kicking down the road. Later becomes never, never becomes regret. Hear me when I'm talking to you today. Never becomes regret. The issue that we're talking about when we talk about the calendar code isn't time, it's identity, it's mastery. So if you're understanding this base level psychological principle of the calendar code, you've got this, you're ready to move on. I'm going to move you into calendar dominance framework. Number one, it's very simple. You've probably even heard this before. Block the non-negotiables first. If you don't know what a non-negotiable means, it means something that must be done no matter what. I'm not negotiating on it. I'm going to follow through with it. Let's say we're talking about business. The non-negotiables that get time blocked first should be your lead generation, your follow-up. Let's talk about you as a human being. Non-negotiables that should be blocked first is your family, exercise, prayer, meditation, quiet space, whatever you're into. Here's one that most people avoid, and I've done it myself: financial review. These are the non-negotiables that give our life direction. These are the non-negotiables that put guardrails up so we can go step into the person we're supposed to be. To dominate our calendar, first and foremost, we need to block the non-negotiables. Second, this is a great idea to think about because we all agree on this show that language matters. Yes or yes? Say it out loud so I can hear you. Yes. Try assigning meaning to every block. Assigning meaning to every block. So, for instance, if we're talking about business and we're saying lead generation, what if instead of lead generation, you wrote, create 10 conversations that pay me? Have 5 high impact conversations. Talk to 20 people that move the needle forward. Set, hold 1 appointment. Like, what if we put meaning to it instead of just an ambiguous words like lead generation? What if instead of writing follow-up, we wrote something powerful, like bring yesterday's seeds to life? Purpose creates follow-through. When we assign meaning to a task, when we assign purpose to a task, the urgency for us to do it and not avoid it rises. So number 1, block the non-negotiables. Number 2, assign meaning to the blocks. Number 3, give each block a container. There is a start time, there's a stop time. There are rules. There's a condition in which we win. It has to live in this container. Start, stop, rules. How do I win? For example, let's say lead generation, because that's the answer to everything inside of real estate. Lead generation is from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. My rules are I must have 10 conversations. My rules are I'm going to be on the phone in this one spot. How do I win? When I complete it. I win when I have all 10 conversations done. I win when I finish what I said I would do. I win through doing, not through perfection. Give it a container, start time, stop time, the rules that you will follow and how to win that block. Clarity is power. The fourth idea on this framework is building a transition ritual, a physical action that signals the shift. I'll give you an exact example on where this showed up in your life before. Middle school, high school. How did you know that it was time to go to the next class? There was more often than not an auditory signal of a bell or a tone that said, this class is over. You're now going to shift. Then there was another one that said, this class starts. Let's begin. There's a physical action That signals the shift. Now, I'm not telling you to set a bell for yourself. I mean, maybe if that's what you're into. But what if it simply is stand up, walk for 2 minutes, stand up, take a lap, stand up, drink water, reset my breathing for 30 seconds. I'm having a physical representation of a psychological shift from one block to the next. Transitions can help protect momentum. So number 4 is build a transition ritual. Number 5, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're still with me, protect the block like it protects your future. Protect the block like your life depends on it. Because it does. This is the heart of this entire episode. If someone else's agenda can steal your block, you don't have a block, you have a wish. You don't have a standard, you have a suggestion. Clients can wait 10 minutes. Texts can wait 2 hours. Emails can wait until scheduled time. Kids in emergencies get priority because they're not an inconvenience. Do you see? You need to protect the most important things. If I'm in the middle of lead generation and someone needs me for some emergency, it can wait because this is my block. Now, if I'm in the middle of lead generation and my kid walks in and his arm's backwards because he just broke it, yeah, we can tackle that. I'm not going to be like, hold on, honey, give me 30 more minutes. That's a priority. That's not an inconvenience. However, if Knox comes in here and wants a snack, his butt's going to wait. Do you see the difference? Guys, control is not cruelty. Control is clarity. I want you to honor these time blocks. I want you to decide. The root word, the etymology of decide means to kill off any other way. When I decide, I kill off any other thing. I want you to decide that the time block is sacred. No one rises above the standards that they treat as optional. I'm talking to you and me here. No one will rise above standards that they treat as optional. That makes them a suggestion. So first, you need to decide that the block is sacred. Second, remove friction. Remove friction. Remove landmines. Remove pitfalls. If your phone is distracting you during calls, put it down. If your phone is distracting you during calls, put on some headphones, put the phone down, and talk. If your desk is distracting you during admin time, move to a quiet corner. Time has memory. Places have energy. Move to the same spot. That's that physical transition. Move to one spot to do the thing. If your social media is pulling your attention during your time blocks, like, I don't know, 99.9% of you listening to this, why don't you use some timers or some apps that block it during that piece of your day? So number 1, I want you to decide that the block is sacred. Number 2, I want you to remove friction. Number 3, I want you to tell people in your life what you are doing. Because at the base layer of all this, I want you to understand firmly and foundationally that accountability shapes behavior. Accountability shapes behavior. If you are explaining your schedule to your spouse, your team, your clients, You are setting expectations. When people know your rhythm, they respect it. If you honor it. Number 4, I want you to make a micro commitment. Let's say for you, a 2-hour time block feels too immense. Awesome. Hear you. Let's start with walking before we start with sprinting. Can you give me 20 minutes? If 2 hours is too overwhelming, can you give me 20 minutes and can you honor that? Small wins build trust. Trust builds discipline. Discipline builds consistency. Small wins build trust. Trust builds discipline. Discipline builds consistency. So we're going to decide the block is sacred. We're going to remove friction. We're going to tell people what we're doing and set expectation. We're going to make a micro commitment if we can't do the big one. We're going to start small. And number 5, we're going to track our execution daily. We're going to give ourselves a weekly score. If we do not measure it, we cannot master it. If we do not measure it, it won't move. When you do not run your day, you drift. Drifting is costly. It costs your production. It costs your confidence. It can cost your relationships, your money, your energy. Most people aren't burnt out or lost because they work too much. They're burnt out or lost because they're working without structure. They're not doing the important things. Noise is draining them faster than the actual effort is. I want you to align your calendar with your life. If you want to build a business that outlives your seasons, if you want to build habits that outlast your mood, your feelings, control your calendar. Control the direction of your life. Your schedule is your story. Write a good one today. Show me your schedule. Show me your calendar, and I will show you your life. I will show you what's important to you. I will show you where you're going. I will show you the pattern of predictable profit. Your schedule is your story, ladies and gentlemen. Let's write a good one today. As always, it is an honor to be with you in the morning. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. I trust you got a little nugget out today. I trust you're going to go write a good story. I trust you're going to take some of this and implement it today, not tomorrow, because we know that later becomes never. Coach Kyle Evans signing off today. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Grow with Kyle Evans.